Welcome to another video in Making Sense of Multiple Sclerosis with me, Shirley, and today I'm going to be talking about dating when you have MS at the same time. It happens. So a huge thing that seems to come up quite a lot in forums within the MS community is the issue of dating or trying to date when you have MS. It can be really upsetting for some people. It can be a very invasive time because they feel they need to share the information but they don't know how to. They're afraid that they might not be accepted for the way that they are. There's just a whole host of worries. So it's about breaking it down and looking at it together, figuring out what worries you and moving forward from there. So there are 4 things that we need to look at when it comes to approaching the dating scene with MS. And these 4 things are really important. I'm going to go through all of them, but the overview is like this. The first thing is I want you to think about what your worries are when it comes to dating. What are you fretful about? What are you anxious about? What gives you the greatest cause for concern when the thought of dating arises in your head? That's the first thing. The second thing is, what are your hopes? So what are you actually hoping to achieve from dating? Are you hoping to find a life partner? Are you hoping to find a friend? Are you hoping to find someone that you can spend time with periodically? You have to clearly define in your head what your hopes are. What is your deal breaker? If you don't have at least one deal breaker, then I would urge you not to approach the dating scene until you have at least one. A deal breaker is really important because it helps you to clearly outline what is acceptable and unacceptable when it comes to dating. If you don't have that clearly outlined in your head first, then there's a risk you could settle for anything, or rose-tinted glasses could taint that perception of what's really going on. So you need to have deal breakers. The other thing that I would like you to think about is where you're looking. That is a huge one. Are you swiping? Are you bumbling? What are you doing and where are you doing it? Because that's a really important one. So I'm going to look at that too. It's quite a lot. Here we go. What are your worries? So again, all of my videos are formulated upon feedback from support groups, peers, others with MS. So it's something that I've taken straight from the source to work with in terms of psychology or in terms of any other bits of information or advice I can offer. So I was looking over worries, and I'm sure you'll have something in your head that you're worried about when it comes to dating. The worries that people seem to voice are things such as, what if I tell them I have MS and they run a mile? My answer to that would be, so? If they run a mile, is that somebody that you would want to fight to keep beside you? Do not waste or exert time on somebody who's not going to do the exact same thing for you. If somebody wants to run a mile because you have a health condition or a disability, let them run. Because you've dodged a bullet. What if I meet someone who doesn't have a disability and is very able-bodied and I'm not able to keep up with them or do the things that they do? How do I discuss that with them? Again, it's communication. It's about being open, and it's about being open from the very beginning. I had one friend of mine with MS say, You know, I just made sure that I told anybody that I was going to be on prospective dates with, I have MS and here's how it affects me. I want you to know this from the get-go before we even go on a date. Are you okay with that? If you're not, it's absolutely fine. I think that is the only time I would ever say it's acceptable to offer somebody a get out of jail free card, because you want to know straight away from the beginning whether somebody has the integrity and the wherewithal and the commitment to see past someone's disability. If they don't have it at that earliest stage, see ya. What if I have an accident when I'm on a date? It's the age-old thing that we all worry about. Prior to MS, it would be, oh gosh, what if I trip down the stairs when I'm walking with this person? Or what if I burp over a meal? Or what if I hiccup? Or what if I, slur my words? What if I snot? What if I have a booger or a bogey? What if we drive ourselves to distraction with this whole concept of what if, and what if is one of the worst things you could put in your head. It's good to be prepared and understand that there is a possibility of something happening. But if you spend your life saying what if, you'll miss out on the things that are. What if you don't pee your pants? What if you don't trip up? What if you don't slur your words? And if you do, should it be a big deal for the other person? You've got to remember that when you're worrying about what could go wrong, you're forgetting about what can go right, and you're forgetting about what you're offering for someone else. Not just the other way around. Will someone take damaged goods? Is essentially what your subconscious is saying. That's so not true. It's almost like dating is almost like a sales process with biological ornaments. That's something we refer to in psychology. Humans are one of the very few animals that likes to adorn themselves with biological ornaments. So we like to put makeup on. You'll see from my videos, I'm a false lash girl, I'm a makeup girl, and I don't do much else. I don't take care of myself any specific way, but I like my makeup. That's a biological ornament that we feel maybe enhances how we look. If you saw me without makeup, you would agree with that concept. Earrings, styles of clothing, all biological ornaments. So in nature, it is our way of showing off our wares and how we look and what we could be like and what we have to offer. You've got to remember that when you're going on a date with someone, you have a lot to offer this person. So are they actually worthy of what you've got, rather than will they tolerate the fact that maybe a slur or a trip or I can't walk or I have a catheter? They're lucky to have somebody like you. It's not, I hope I find someone because I have damaged goods. I am damaged goods. You really have to change that whole mental persona and that whole outlook before you even approach the dating scene. And if you're not in that place, you don't need to be there just yet. You have value, you have worth, and you have a lot to offer. It's not about whether they'll tolerate or accept you. That's where the psychological part for me is such an issue. I get why we do it, because we're frightened of being alone. That is a human thing. We're scared to be alone. You get some really confident people that say, I'm not scared. I'm an empowered individual and I like my company, and that's fine. And that's great if you do, but it's only natural that as living beings, we do seek comfort in others. Hence why we do the whole biological ornaments thing. Google biological ornaments, have a look at the whole concept behind it. You probably find it really boring, but if you're a geek like me, you might enjoy it. So the gist of it is not about whether that person will accept me for me, which obviously is a part of it, but whether that person deserves you. If you're not thinking like that, then you're not ready to date. So the second thing, what are your hopes? What are you hoping to achieve from the dating scene? Say you meet someone, you've told them everything about your MS, they're completely tolerant of it, they're happy about a life with somebody regardless of disabilities. What is your hope, your aim, your objective? Are you looking for a long-term partner? Are you looking for someone who could support you when your MS progresses? If your MS progresses, because it doesn't always progress. We all have this image in our head that, oh, I'm in a wheelchair, so in 10 years' time I'll probably be completely brain dead. I hear things like that from people all the time, and you have to believe that not everyone's MS is the same. We don't all progress at the same rate. We don't all have doom and despair ahead of us. Sometimes we just have to be mindful about our health, not hold this element of doom over us all the time, because that's almost a mental imprisonment, and it's one of the darkest places you could put yourself in, and it's only you that puts you there. So what do you want to achieve? And again, communication. You need to tell someone from the very beginning, this is what I'm looking for. I have MS, this is what I'm looking to achieve from a relationship. Where are you at? Tell me about you. So what are your hopes? If you don't know, you're not ready to date yet. If you do, great. Deal breakers. Oftentimes you find that people are one extreme or the other. They either don't really have many deal breakers. You know, we've all got that one friend that's a serial dater. Outline what your deal breakers are. Know in your mind, I don't want anybody that cusses. That would be me out the window. I don't want anybody that smokes. I don't want anybody that has issues with my disability. I don't want anybody that has no children, or I don't want anybody that has children. Think in your mind about what your deal breakers are. I don't want anybody who's not open-minded. I don't want anybody who's narrow-minded. I think there are tons of things that you don't want. And by the same stretch, you get people who have a host of deal breakers, and that can almost become unrealistically attainable in the dating world. You've got to remember that people are human and we all make mistakes, and we all have characteristics and attributes that are maybe not appealing to other people. So we must have deal breakers, but not so many that we're unrealistic about what it is we're looking for and what's actually attainable. If you don't have deal breakers, you're not ready to date yet. And you need to have deal breakers because you have self-worth and you have a lot to offer someone. Not having deal breakers makes you susceptible to being treated like crap. Where are you looking? Are you looking at, see, because of YouTube, I really don't know if I can specifically name all the well-known dating sites, but if you're looking at these mainstream dating sites that people swipe on and match on and all these things, that may work as long as you're upfront from the very beginning. It's hard, but you have to be upfront. But sometimes the issue is the source. It's the pool that you're diving into. It's not the right pool. It's the wrong temperature and it's full of bad smells. Sometimes you need to find a more fragrant pool. And I'm going to post some links below because it can sometimes be the places that you haven't even thought about. Whether it's Facebook forums to do with MS, whether it's MS specific dating sites, because there are those and those with disabilities, whether it's support groups, there are a number of places, and I'm going to post it all below for you to look at. So what are your worries? What are your hopes? What are your deal breakers? And where are you looking? Once you have that all lined up and you understand all those things, you might be ready to start dating.